What's up? What's up? What's going on, guys? It is your boy RockStarr here, back with another spectacular piece of content for you guys. And today I'm gonna need y'all to hold your horses. I'm gonna need you to sit tight on this video because we are gonna be giving y'all the freaking holy grail. I'm gonna be giving you the secret sauce. I'm gonna be giving you my favorite strategy for all new, brand new binary options traders. And I can almost guarantee you that by the time you finish this video, you are going to be way more profitable than you were before you started watching it. But hey, listen, I understand. Majority of you aren't going to watch this full video, but I'm talking to the people that actually like to make money. So if you're here to learn, watch the whole thing. And if not, well, then you're probably going to stop watching about 4.5 to 5 minutes through, because that's my average view duration anyway. And that's cool too. But roll the intro. Let's get it.
I feel just like a rock star.
All right, guys. So we're back, and like I said before, today we're going to be going into an actual strategy when it comes to binary options traders. And I think this is very important because from what I've seen on YouTube, there's a lot of people that lose money trading binaries. As a matter of fact, majority of the people that contact me, majority of the people that I speak to, have absolutely no idea what it is that they're doing with binary options trading. And that's why a lot of people would prefer MetaTrader 4. And even then, people still don't know what they're doing on MT4 either. But with binaries, I've noticed a common trend, especially on YouTube, is that a lot of people treat it like a guessing game. They treat it like gambling. And I understand binary options isn't all or nothing style of trading, but by no means is it gambling. And that's the difference between the traders that actually make money trading binaries and the ones that get lucky every once in a while, but for the most part they end up blowing their accounts because they don't really know what they're doing. So I'm gonna not only be showing you guys something that I probably told myself I would never show on YouTube for free, but I'm gonna do it anyway. My strategy that I teach all of our new students, brand new, just so that you can get a feel of the markets and start profiting like this right off the bat. Because I feel like once you get the basics down of binary options, you can jump into anything else and start adding your own kicks and twists and stuff like that to it. But once you get this part down, I guarantee you it's gonna make so much more sense. You're gonna absolutely love it, and more importantly, you're gonna be loving the money that hits your bank account. Now, I do want to do a little disclaimer before we actually get into this strategy. Number one, okay? Yes, you guys do see lines on my screen. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this. We are not going to be talking about support and resistance today. This is something that if you are 24 hours into trading, you're brand new, 24, 48 hours into trading, I guarantee you with what I'm about to teach, it will make sense to you. Without support and resistance, without Fibonacci's, without trend lines and all this other stuff that I know complicates it and makes it just a little bit harder for the new member to understand. Now, yes, if you do know how to use support and resistance, if you do know how to mark up structures and trend lines and so on and so forth, then you know what? You can get just a little bit better at finding these entry points when you're trading binary options. But for what I'm about to teach you, do not need it at all. Erase it. Boom. Now, disclaimer number two. From doing my research here on YouTube, and one of the main reasons why I'm even doing this video is because I've noticed that a lot of gurus here on the tube post these strategy videos of my favorite strategy and so on and so forth, or the best or the most profitable strategy, 90% accuracy rate. And when you go ahead and you click the video, it's not a strategy. It's one indicator. I do want to make it, tell everyone here, because I have people that reach out to me, people that hit me up, people that speak to me, and I asked them they're telling me that they're struggling, they're not making money. And I said, well, do you actually have a strategy in your trading? And they say something like, yes, I use the MACD strategy, right? Or yes, I use the stochastic strategy. Look, guys, indicators are not strategies. Indicators are tools that you can implement in your strategy that will, make it a little bit better or help you find those better entry points. But for the most part, a lot of indicators are kind of like lagging indicators. So that's why I'm going to be showing you guys, number one, the indicators that I use, but number two, the settings that I put on it. And I don't do this for nothing, but I'm going to do it today. So make sure you guys, number one, you watch the whole video. Number two, you hit that subscribe button, you drop a like for me. Drop a like, because that's the only way I'm going to keep doing videos like this, right? Drop a comment and share it out with anybody that you know that's trying to learn how to trade or that may be struggling in life and they need to make some money, man. We're gonna make the money on the charts, not at the job. So one by one, let's talk about it. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of go one by one with the indicators. We're gonna mute them all. I'm gonna start at the very top on the main chart. Now, if you guys are not familiar with this platform right here that I'm using, this is called TradingView. TradingView.com. If you check my description, I'll have a link directly to it. You guys go ahead and use that link, and you'll get a $15 credit if eventually you want to go ahead and actually buy the paid version of TradingView. I use the paid version because this is where I keep all my strategies and stuff like that. But you can download it. You can use the free version as well as a beginner, and then as you start to advance, you pay $10, $15 a month for the paid version. But so this is TradingView.com. As a binary options trader, a lot of the times when you're trading on a platform or you're trading on a broker, you see the heartbeat monitor kind of, right? It's the line chart or the area chart, okay? When we're trading binaries, this is still in the Forex market. So I make that very clear to everybody right off the bat that we are still trading Forex. So do not get it mixed up and say, oh, well, do you trade Forex or do you trade binary options? No, we trade in the Forex market. Binary options is the style of trading. Okay, MT4 is a different platform. We're not talking about MT4 today. So with binary options, it's very simple. Obviously, we can make money in the market moves in 3 directions, up, down, sideways. We make money in 2 directions, either up or down. The idea is that you want to know when the market is going to be moving up or when it's going to be moving down and when it's going to be happening as far as time, right? So binary options is time-based trading. It's all or nothing for people that are brand new here. It's an all or nothing style of trading. You would have a particular point of entry and you would have what's called an expiration time, which is the amount of time that you spend within the trade, okay? So let's just say, for example, I am looking at the market right now and I'm watching this market and I think that the market's gonna be coming down. Well, when you're trading binary options, the question is when is it going to be coming down? So it's time-based trading versus pips. Now, I know a lot of people are familiar with the MT4, MetaTrader 4, and in MetaTrader 4, the idea is either you want to catch a large amount of pips, right, so that you can make more money, or if you're scalping, you want to have a large account size so that you can use a large lot so that you can catch a smaller amount of pips but still make a lot of money. With binary options, none of that matters. As long as I'm in profit within the time frame that I said I'm going to be in profit, I win my money. That's why I like it. I usually do 3 to 5 minute trades. I'm in and out with the bag and we're good to go. Now, when we're trading with this strategy here, I'm going to show you guys 3 indicators that I use that I put together with my strategy. So once again, indicators are not strategies. Strategies, in my opinion, are more of confirmations. What is it that you're looking for in the market before you make the decision of whether or not you want to enter the market? All right, so hopefully that makes sense to you. So for example, if I'm looking for support and resistance, if I have 2 or 3 indicators, if I'm looking for maybe some Fibonacci, whatever the case may be, you want to have a confirmation list, right? A little checklist so that as you're trading, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened. I'm good, let's enter. That is where the strategy comes into play. So with this strategy I'm gonna teach you, it's very basic. It comprises of 3 indicators, okay? And as long as you can get your confirmations with all 3 indicators, you are very likely to win your trades. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, to get this thing kicked off, when you're at TradingView.com, you go ahead, you create your free account, you go to the top, and you're gonna hit that indicators button. So once you hit the indicators button, it's right here. It has a little FX logo right next to it, right here up top. That is the indicators button. You're gonna load up this first indicator, okay, that I'm going to show you. You're gonna type this in, EVAN. Once you type in Evan, that's the guy's name, you're gonna see right here, Evan Cabral, Binary Strategy 2. How do you know it's the correct one? It has the most amount of likes right here. So you have 1,600 people that liked this indicator, all right? Now, if you guys don't know, Evan Cabral is actually one of the educators with our program, with our mentorship program. If you guys are looking to take your binary trading a little bit more than this free YouTube content, I would definitely recommend reaching out to me or heading to teachmetotrade.info. All right, checking out the information there. And if you think you might want to go ahead and join the mentorship program, feel free to do so. But if you type this in, you'll find Evan Cabral Binary Strategy number 2, okay? Now, once you get there, this is what you're gonna want to do, all right? Very simply, I'm gonna show you the things I have on, the things I have off. So this is, by default, it's gonna look something like this. Now, the reason why I use Evan Cabral's binary strategy 2 for beginners is because when you have the free version of TradingView, you're only allowed to have 3 indicators on your screen at once, okay? When you use the Evan Cabral's binary strategy preset, it's an indicator preset, you actually get a few indicators on your screen, and it only counts as one. So that's why it's good for beginners, because you can decide which indicators you want to turn on and off. So for example, I turn off all of these just to remove a little bit of the noise from the beginning. Remove the first 3, okay, the first 3 right here. Take them off just to get rid of some of the noise on the screen. You're brand new, you don't want your charts looking too crazy, right? Now we're gonna go to inputs. Make sure you have the same inputs as me as well. So I'll leave this on the screen for about 2 seconds. So boom, there goes the inputs. Now, once you have the Evan Cabral binary strategy loaded up, there is pretty much only one indicator that I left on the screen right here. Technically 2. So number 1, we have Bollinger Bands on the screen. Some of you may be familiar with Bollinger Bands, right? Then we have also these little check marks right here. I'll be honest, I don't know what these are. I think this might be the DMI, little DMI check marks. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're DMI check marks. But I'm gonna explain to you how both of these work right now. The main thing that I want you to focus on is take the focus off the check marks. We're not gonna be really worried about that until the end. I want you to focus on the Bollinger Bands. So there are 2 sets of Bollinger Bands on the screen. I color coordinated them. This is just my personal colors. Whenever you see my charts, the way that my charts are set up is red means sell, blue means buy. My whole chart is set up like Spider-Man, right? My son likes Spider-Man, so that's why I did it. Get him on the charts with me, right? So red and blue. So whenever I see red, that means sell. Whenever I see blue, that means buy. So right here on the top, okay, we have these top bands. Now there's 2 bands on the top. Both of them are red. I made one a little bit thicker than the other one. So one's thin, one's thick, just so, you know, it's better for my eyes. You know, I just kind of like it like that. And then on the bottom, we got 2 bands on the bottom. You got one thin, one thick right here on the bottom. All right. Now, technically, you don't need 2 Bollinger Bands on the screen. I know, I get it, right? You don't need it, but I like it, okay? I like to use it, especially for beginners. And the way that I kind of use it, especially because you're not going to be using support and resistance, is I like to kind of use the bands as a second potential entry point, or like keeping the market within a specific zone. So for example, a lot of the times when the market comes to that first band right here or right here, right? When it comes to that first band, I'll give, look, best example, right here, okay? We are typically looking for what, obviously either the buy or the sell when it touches the first band. But a lot of the times, the market tends to break that first band, okay, and kind of comes towards the second band. So I would know as the trader that's trading in this market that, hey, don't panic, right? Don't panic. If the market breaks the first band, let's see if it comes to the second. And if it comes to the second, then I know it'll probably use the second as that point of entry, okay? So that's why I keep 2 bands there. It's kind of like a zone. If you guys do trade support and resistance, right? You know, you got your zones. It's like a trend zone. I don't know if that makes sense, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. So the market tends to stay within the bands, and if it does break, it doesn't break too much, all right? Now, the way that we use these Bollinger Bands when we're trading is we're looking for 2 things. Now, this whole strategy is going to be put together based off of 2 words pretty much. The first word, write this down, is called overbought. Overbought. Number 1. Number 2, oversold. So those are the 2 words I want you guys to remember as we're doing this training. That is literally the only things we're looking for in this market is overbought and oversold. Now, obviously, and I'll break it down, right, to keep it a little bit more simple for everyone here. But obviously, when we're looking for overbought markets, that means that the market is overbought. That means there's too many people buying, right? And obviously, when there's too many people buying, we should be looking for what? Sells, right? Because eventually what goes up must come down. I want you guys to think about it like this. Let me put it into perspective for you. Let's say I'm flipping sneakers, for example, right? got these on, Yeezys. So let's say there's people that, there's people that pretty much wait online all night, right? All night, days at a time to buy the new pair of Yeezys when they first drop. The reason why they wait all night is because they want to be able to get the Yeezys at a low price, right? Think of the market like this as well. So you want to get the Yeezys at a low price. Now the objective is that if you get it at a low price, you want to wait until the price does what? Rise. And as the price rises and it becomes overbought, or in the case of Yeezys, sold out, okay? Then guess what? You sell it off at the top for a way higher price than you originally brought it at. That's exactly how we trade. That's how the market moves. So we're looking for this overbought market. That means there's too many people buying it. It's becoming overused, right? And now the big investors, the traders that know about support and resistance, that know about, the trends, and that know about, price action or even just indicators and when to sell off, we're like, bet, it hit this mark, it's time to sell. That's what we're looking for when we talk about overbought markets. We're looking for that selling point if it's on top, okay? If it's on top, boom. And we're looking for that buying point if it's on bottom. Once again, the top of the market is the overbought, right? Because there's too many people buying. And the bottom of the market is oversold. There's too many people selling. So now it's time to get in at that low price, right? It's time to get in at the low price. Same thing with Bitcoin. So now that we know that, let's talk about the indicators that we have on our screen and how to use them. Very simply, whenever we're looking at the market and we're looking for potential setups, and this is for binaries. I don't know if this works with MT4. I haven't tried it on MT4. I don't care to use it on MT4. I already have my MT4 strategy, and I'll probably drop that video later. But for now, this is for binary options. Very simple. How do we know to look for potential entry points? Well, when our market is rising and it comes up into our top Bollinger Band area, which is my red Bollinger Bands, that indicates to me an overbought market, okay? Whenever the market comes up to the top and touches our Bollinger Bands on top, that is an overbought market. That means I'm looking for sells in the market. Whenever the market comes down and touches our bottom bands, my blue bands, okay, I'm looking for buys because that's an oversold market. I want to get in at the low price. So I'll give you guys a few examples. Hopefully you follow along. Here's an oversold market, went up. Here's an overbought market, went down, right? Let's see. Overbought, down, overbought, down. All right, oversold, up, overbought, down, so on and so forth, right? Now, here's one last one. Overbought, down, okay? So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Now, this is a pretty accurate indication for me for a potential setup. Now, before I move on, I do want to make it clear that there is a difference between trade setups and actual trade, entries, right? Like when to get into the trade. So when I see something like this, this is not confirmation for me to get into the trade. This is just a potential setup. Now, when we talk about actually getting into the trade, if you're looking at the Bollinger Bands, look, sometimes they may hit, the market may hit the Bollinger Band and come straight down. Sometimes you'll see it stays in the Bollinger Bands for a few candles. So this is why you can't use the Bollinger Bands by itself. There's no direct indication of exactly when the market is going to make its move. And that's why I have other confirmations for you. All right, my bad. Had to take a quick break because the fire alarm was pissing me off. But we fixed it. And shout out to King D Living 13 for giving me a nice little reminder that I need to change the battery in my fire alarm. Anyway, let's jump into confirmation number 2. So the next indicator that we're gonna go ahead and add to the screen is one that I like to use, and you're not gonna find this on a lot of brokers. So if you're not using TradingView, I don't think you're gonna find this indicator, honestly. You'll find one or the other. So this right here is called the Stochastic RSI. Now I know a lot of you probably seen my stochastic video. You probably seen some RSI videos. The stochastic oscillator and the relative strength index are typically two separate indicators, right? So I don't want you to get it confused. What we're gonna be using is, if you go to indicators and you type this in, STOCH, you'll see right here, Stochastic RSI. This is what we're gonna be using, Stochastic RSI. Stochastic RSI. Now, with the Stochastic RSI, this is how it works. Very, very simply. We are looking for the same exact things in the markets. We're looking for overbought and oversold. And how this works is very simple. So whenever we're looking at the RSI, there's a few things I want you guys to understand. These little lines in the middle, these are our stochastic lines. I call them momentum lines. So to keep it very simple, these are momentum lines, all right? So whenever our momentum line comes up above the red line, okay, on top, we are looking for sells, okay? When it comes up above the red, we're looking for sells. When it comes down below the blue, we're looking for buys. So let's go ahead and draw this out so that it makes a little bit more sense to you. Areas like this, like this, like this. These are all overbought areas in the market. Overbought, remember, overbought. Now, vice versa on the bottom, 1, right? 2, 3. These are all oversold areas on the bottom. So when market is above, it is a potential confirmation for a sell. When market is below, it's a potential confirmation for a buy. So I'm going to show you exactly how to use this and typically what I look for when I'm using these indicators, right? So what I like to look for is number 1, I call it the stochastic cross, all right? Maybe you guys want to call it the same thing. I don't know. But I call it the stochastic crossover. What the stochastic cross is when you're looking at the stochastic RSI and you see it comes up, it hits our overbuy, our overbought zone, and it starts to come down. Obviously, if we're looking for sells, we want the indicator to start push down. So as it starts to push down, you're gonna see the two lines, they cross each other, okay, going downwards. Now, on the opposite side, if we're looking for buys, right? If the market is oversold and we're looking for buys, then we want the market to cross each other going up, right? We want the market to cross each other going up. Now, let's just say we were to use this example right here, for example, and just use the two confirmations as, indication for us to get into the market. Well, let's look at how that would look. Well, number 1, if we were to take the two indicators that we have on the screen right now, we have our Bollinger Bands right here. So I'm going to put a line right there because this is where our Bollinger Bands obviously is in that overbought zone, okay? And then if we go down to the stochastic, we have right here. The stochastic is also overbought. If I were to take a vertical line and put it exactly where the stochastics cross, look at that. They cross right here. We're overbought here. And look what happens in the very next candle. The market drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, I'm on the 5-minute chart. So each one of these little blocks is 5 minutes long. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40. This market was dropping for over an hour straight. So if you were to put in a 5-minute position, a 3-minute position, a 10-minute position, you would have cleared this trade just based off of these two confirmations alone. Now that's an example of something that worked. Let me give you an example of something that didn't work. So this is why when we're talking about strategies and we're talking about having multiple confirmations, right? Multiple confirmations. This is why multiple confirmations are very important. There are multiple points in the market where the stochastic crossed each other. There are multiple points in the market where the stochastic crossed each other, but we didn't get those multiple confirmations. And that is exactly why the trade probably didn't go in the direction that you were looking for it to go in. So for example, if you're using the stochastics by itself and you're like, hey, you know what? You're trading off of these gurus' stochastic strategy, where all they tell you is, hey, every time the stochastic cross, you hit that put button, or every time the stochastic cross, you hit the call button. It's a load of BS. You want to have multiple confirmations. Here's why. Stochastic cross here, it crossed going up. We didn't get an upwards push. We, in fact, market dropped. We got a downwards push, right? Right here, it crossed going down, but then right after we got a cross going up, it was a nice little fake out. So depending on how long your expiration time was, you probably ended up not winning this trade because we got a nice little spike going up, so on and so forth. So this is why when I trade binary options, I understand that I am what we call a hyper scalper, right? I'm not looking for 5, 10 pips, right? I'm not trading on the 1 hour, 4 hour, or the daily time frame. So I cannot trade the same way all these other gurus trade. I cannot trade looking for just a support and a resistance. I cannot trade looking for just one confirmation. Me personally, I like making money. And if you like making money, you probably want to stay a little bit safe with your money. And if there's more ways for me to secure the bag, when I say secure, I mean to make sure that the bag is secured before I put the money up, I'm going to do it, all ego aside. I know there's a lot of traders out there that have this huge fucking ego that they'll get online and they'll tell you, oh, you can't, don't put all these indicators on your chart. You know, it's just a bunch of mess, blah, blah, blah. Listen, you're trading on the hour, the 4 hour, the daily. I'm trading on the 3 minute, the 1 minute, and the 5 minute. We ain't the same, right? We in a different bracket here. You can't tell me how to trade, right? So if you're trading binary options and you're trading on the 5 minute, don't listen to everybody else that tells you how to trade and how not to trade and what looks nice. And I'm not here to look pretty, I'm here to make money. So figure out what works for you and stick to it. So that's 2 confirmations, very simple, very straight to the point. And then I'm gonna move on to confirmation number 3. Now the reason why this strategy is so cool in my opinion is because I always tell our students, when you're trading, you wanna have at the very least, 3 confirmations for your trade before you actually decide to get into the trade. 3 confirmations is okay. Me personally, I need 4. I like doing 4 confirmations or more. And these 4 confirmations could be anything. It could be 2 indicators and maybe a resistance, or 2 indicators and a bounce off the 200 moving average, or whatever the case, like a support level. It could be a Fibonacci. As long as I get my confirmations, I'm good. Why I like this strategy is because there's 3 simple confirmations. They're all indicator based. So you really don't have to know how to do anything except follow simple instructions. And if you can do that, you make money. So here's our 3rd and final indicator. And then we'll wrap this up, I promise. 3rd and final indicator is this. It's called the DMI Stochastic Extreme. Go to indicators, you're gonna type this in, DMI, boom. It's right there at the top. DMI Stochastic Extreme, the regular one. It has over 2,000 likes on it, which means it works, right? And then when you go ahead and you pull it up, here are my parameters, 10, 3, 10, 90. I believe that's default. And then my colors, once again, are my colors. Now, here's what's very important. When you use the indicator, sometimes these will be arrows. I don't know why. If you like the arrows, you can keep the arrows. I personally changed it to B and S. And what this means for me is buy and sell. So the indicator actually alerts me when to buy and when to sell based off of what it is that we're looking for in this market. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you how it works. Now, the Stochastic RSI and the DMI pretty much looks identical. And what we're looking for is pretty much the same as well. We're still looking for the overbought and the oversold. So whenever the DMI is above the red, we're looking for sells. Whenever it's below the blue, we're looking for buys. Same concept. Here's how it works though. Number 1, we get these B and these S's, all right, on the screen. Now, even though they look the same, the stochastic and the DMI, you guys see here in this example, they're not exactly the same. And that's what I tell people, right? When it comes to these indicators and the settings that you have on them, the objective is not to get the indicators to look exactly the same, right? With the way that they're moving. It's to get them to tell you the same thing to confirm your strategy. So for example, even though it's not doing the same thing right here, in this market, these don't look the same. This one's all the way down. As a matter of fact, this one hits the oversold area, and this was not even halfway there. So they're not the same. But if we move over just a little bit to the side, I'll go ahead and I'll clear that so we can make it a little more clear. You see here, boom. They're at a point in the market where now they're in agreement and they are telling you the same thing. So now that I see both of these are overbought, right? We have the DMI overbought. We have the Stochastic RSI overbought. Well, look, we're going up to the top of the market. And my question to you is this. Is the Bollinger Bands overbought? I'll give you 3 seconds to figure it out. Yes, so the answer is yes. So if we're looking at this market right here, and I get so excited when I talk about this because it's so simple. Look, boom, 1 confirmation, Bollinger Bands overbought. 2 confirmations, Stochastic RSI overbought. 3 confirmations, DMI Stochastic overbought. And did this market drop? Can I get an amen? We got 3 for 3 on the overbought. We go ahead, we hit that sell button, and boom, you would have won this trade. Very simple, very straight to the point. Now, once again, there's two potential entry points that I look for in this market. Number one is the stochastic crossover. Now, as you guys can see, that was the perfect entry point, the stochastic crossover. Perfect. But if you want to play a little bit more safe, because I know sometimes we get into the trade a little bit early, and I trade on a broker that has rollovers, but some of you probably don't have the rollover option or the rollover feature. If you don't, then you will probably want to enter right here on the DMI entry point, and that's when you get this B or this S signal with a little extension. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into the extension because that's that secret sauce that I just can't give here on YouTube for free. But if you guys want to learn more about the extension, you can go ahead and hit up our academy. We have a lot of videos breaking down multiple different strategies and how you can be profitable in the binary options market, how you can really turn up them profits and make money on a consistent basis. And not just that, I'll be honest, how it is that you guys can grow your account at a much faster rate than you're probably growing at it now, with a more consistent, rate as well. Because it's not just about growing quick accounts, man. Like, I see so many people, they grow their account from like 100 to like 2,000 or 5,000, and then the next month the 5,000 is gone. What good is it making all that money if you can't continue to make the money, if you're just gonna blow it the next month anyway, right? So super simple, super straight to the point. I'll give you guys a few more examples, then we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. And like I said, if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button. And obviously the best part about YouTube is that you can always come back and rewatch it and study it and so on and so forth. So it's gonna be here, it's not going anywhere, but I'll give you guys another example. Now, I already know I'm gonna get the questions of, well, what if we don't get all three confirmations? Well, this is where discipline comes into play. Because if you don't get all three confirmations, then you don't get into the trade. You have to be patient. I'm telling you guys, it pays to wait. But I'll give you guys another example. This is the first example we just gave. Let's move on over just a little bit. This is the 5-minute time frame. So this was all within the same day. You guys have multiple trading opportunities here, right? But look, here's two more buy examples. All right, so I'll give you the first one right here. This was a nice buy, wicked up, right? As soon as it wicked up, it came right on down. So confirmation number one, we have our Bollinger Bands touch. Yes. Confirmation number two, Stochastic RSI overbought. Yes. Confirmation number three, is the DMI overbought? Yes. So, in taking all of that into consideration, let's go ahead and line up the markets. Like I said, my first point of entry is always the stochastic cross. So we'll start right there, boom, cross right there. And as you guys can see, if we line that up perfectly, all three of them, oops, boom, let's zoom on in for you. And bada bing, bada boom. The very next candle, we got nothing but drops, 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 drops. And last but not least, this one's not that clean, but it's still a win. So let's go ahead and line it up. Confirmation number one, yes. Confirmation number two, oh yes. Confirmation number three, can I get a yes? We're gonna go ahead and line it up. Stochastic cross, bada bing, bada boom. I'm telling y'all, this is damn near flawless. Flawless. We would have entered top of the candle. By the end of the candle, it was below. Even though this is a bullish candle, it was below, and it continued to drop. It continued to drop. So that's three examples back to back, all within the same day with the same exact strategy, looking for the same three confirmations. And hopefully this made sense to y'all. And if it did, like I said, show some love for your boy. If it didn't and you need some more help, feel free to hit me up on Instagram at RockStarrFX. It's spelled the same exact way as it is on my YouTube. So don't fall for these scammers and everybody else that's pretending to be me. I am the one and only. Most importantly, make sure you hit that subscribe button for some more videos, some more content. I'm enjoying this and hopefully you guys are. But until next time, guys, this is your boy RockStarr. I'm out. Peace.
Feel just like a rock star.